In Iran, fresh protests erupted at universities and in the largely Kurdish northwest on Sunday, keeping a 7-week anti-regime movement going despite a crackdown. The protests, sparked by the death of Mahsa Amini in mid-September after she was arrested for allegedly flouting strict dress codes for women, have become the biggest challenge to clerical leadership since the 1979 revolution. Unlike the November 2019 demonstrations, they have been nationwide, spread across social classes, universities, the streets and even schools, and have shown no sign of abating even as the death toll nears 200, according to a rights group. Another human rights group, Henge of Norway, said security forces opened fire on Sunday at a protest in Marivan, a town in Kurdistan province, injuring 35 people. It was not possible to check the toll immediately. The latest protest was sparked by the death of a Kurdish student from Marivan, Nasreen Gadri, in Tehran, who died on Saturday after being hit on the head by police, according to Henge. The Iranian authorities have not yet commented on the cause of death. Henge said she was buried at dawn without a burial ceremony at the urging of authorities, who feared the event could become a flashpoint for protests. Authorities then sent reinforcements to the area, she added. Since the death of Amini, herself a Kurd from the city of Saqqez in the province of Kurdistan, Kurdish-populated regions have been the scene of protests. Universities have also become important hotbeds of protest. Iran Human Rights, IHR, a Norway-based organization, said students at Sharif University in Tehran held sit-ins in support of arrested colleagues on Sunday. Students at the University of Babel in northern Iran have since removed the gender segregation barriers in their dining hall that were erected by law, she added. The protests have been sustained by a myriad of different tactics, with observers noting a relatively recent trend of young people pulling down clergymen's turbans in the streets. IHR said Saturday that at least 186 people were killed in the crackdown on Mahsa Amini protests, 10 more than Wednesday. Another 118 people have died since September 30th in various protests in Sistan Baluchistan, a mainly Sunni Muslim province in the southeast, causing another major headache for the regime. According to IHR, security forces killed at least 16 people with live ammunition as protests broke out after prayers in the Sistan Baluchistan town of Kash on Friday. Amnesty International, meanwhile, said up to 10 people were killed in Friday's violence in Kash and accused security forces of shooting at protesters from rooftops. Iranians continue taking to the streets and are more determined than ever to bring fundamental changes, said IHR Director Mahmoud Amirimabadam. The response from the Islamic Republic is more violence. The crackdown on protests has also put on hold efforts to revive the 2015 deal on Iran's nuclear program and increased focus on Tehran's ties with Russia, particularly the delivery to Moscow of drones used in the Ukraine war. The protests were fueled by anger at the restrictive dress code for women, for which Amini was arrested. But they have now grown into a broad movement against the theocracy that has ruled Iran since the Shah's fall. Meanwhile, in Sistan Baluchistan, where the alleged rape of a girl in police custody sparked protests, Sunnis have long felt discriminated against by the country's Shia leadership. The IHR also warned that dozens of the arrested protesters had been charged with alleged crimes that could sentence them to death, as opposed to just a handful who had previously been reported as potentially facing that fate. In addition to thousands of ordinary citizens, prominent activists, journalists and artists such as influential rapper Tumash Salehi have also been arrested in the crackdown. There are also growing concerns about the well-being of Wall Street Journal contributor and free speech activist Hossein Ronaghi, who was arrested in September and whose family is on a hunger strike in Evin prison. In a new blow, his father Ahmad is now in intensive care after suffering a heart attack during a vigil outside of Evan, Hossein Rouhani's brother Hassan wrote on Twitter.